AFA Today.
On AFR Talk. AFR Talk.
AFA Today on AFR Talk. Kevin McCullough, glad you're with us. Sounds like Brian Fisher has a great broadcast planned for you. Make sure you join him at Focal Point immediately following this broadcast here on the American Family Radio Talk Network. All right, Kevin McCullough, my phone number, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Jen Bernstein filed the report. In fact, Brent, if we can, let's play it again. Are we able to play it again here? Okay, he's going to cue it back up and then tell me when we're able to do it. I just want you to hear the audio from it one more time. It'll help you glean just a little bit more information. And then I want to have a discussion around these three questions. How do we deal with this fairly? What happened in that all of these boys were sissified and didn't take any action? And does anything have to do with the fact that the attacker and those that were watching the attack were all one race and the woman that was victimized was another? And if that did have something to do with it, then what should we take away from that? It's an important discussion to have, but let's listen to the report one more time.
Good morning. Salem's police chief posted on his Facebook page that a suspect has been identified and charges are currently being filed against this woman. We are warning you, this video is incredibly disturbing and violent. We're going to show you a clip of it, though, and we have blurred out some of the child's face in this, as well as the onlookers. Now, it shows a woman wearing what appears to be a McDonald's uniform beating a woman while the victim's toddler watched and pleaded for the violence to stop. At the same time, others watching the violence take out their cell phones and record it without intervening. And you can see in the video the woman is kicked and punched while her son tries to intervene on behalf of his mother by trying to kick the attacker several times, but still the attack continues. This happened on Tuesday. The video was then posted on Facebook. Police were able to copy the video before it was deleted. Now, the chief said once the judge sets bail, the woman will be apprehended and incarcerated. That's the latest from Salem. Jen Bernstein, Eyewitness News on the CW Philly.
All right. What appears to be just an outrageously unfair attack from a woman that's easily twice the size of the one she's beating. 888-589-8840. And amidst all the national news that I know we've been talking about, I think the principles of what's at stake here is why I want to talk about this today. Because I think we need to have some binge thinking on this. I think we need to obliterate some confusion, amplify some truth, and pursue some clarity. So let's talk about it. 888-589-8840. Here's the three questions I want answers to. How does a society deal with this justly? Number one. Number two, should the boys that just stood around, should they be reprimanded or charged with something? I mean, whatever happened to the old-fashioned idea of a man, putting himself on the line to defend a woman's honor? And is there anything at all to the idea that the attacker and the people that were standing around watching and putting it on their cell phones and all the rest of it were all one race, and the family that was attacked was another? And if so, what difference does that make? 888-589-8840. I don't know that there's any right or wrong answers. I just want to hear what you say about what this means where we are. Let's go to Elizabeth in Georgia. Elizabeth, you're up first. Welcome. Kevin McCullough, glad to have you with us. Hi.
Hi, thank you. I'm glad that I'm listening on the radio because just hearing about what was going on, it really, really disturbs me and upsets me. Mm-hmm. And then the thing that disturbs me even more is that there were all these people standing around watching. Mm-hmm. You asked, why doesn't, that not even one person went forward? Well, I would look at it differently and say maybe, one person who's thinking about it, maybe they're afraid. Maybe they think, well, then she's going to start beating the you-know-what out of me. But when you have groups like that, and in any situation, like, in schools, bullying or just anything, the thing that gets me is, okay, there's one of them. But if there's like 3, 4, 5, 6 or more of the bystanders, it's like, well, okay, you get her right arm. Okay, you get her left arm. You get her right leg. You get her left leg. I mean, there's more people there that, like I said, while one person maybe could not, they're not sure that they can subdue her, when you got a group, well, one versus a group, you're going to win. I mean, I guess that's it. Like I said, of course, I think it's, As far as men stepping forward to protect women, I mean, like, that's, like, long gone. That's long dead. As far as the issue of black and white, I've heard reports on Christian Stories about how there's this phenomena going on out there about this black against white violence. So I don't know if that's the case. They're a matter of real prejudice or not. And like I said, from other situations you look at, though, it just seems to kind of go along with the fact that horrible things are going on and people are standing by and they're taking pictures or they're recording it on their phone, and then they're just standing there rather than, like I said, several of you, even if it had been women standing around. Again, she's one person.
And the thing is, it wasn't. The thing is, it would have been
one little arm, another arm, a leg. I mean, that's it. One person can easily be subdued by a number of other people. And like I said,
agree with you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good stuff. Good call. The interesting thing about that, and it's really true, these the bystanders, almost all of them male, at least that you can see from the video that the police posted, almost all of them male. And I'm sure that any one of them could have, if they, again, had just tackled her the way they, if you play junior high football, you're taught to tackle, wrap and drive to the ground. All they'd have to have done is taken her from, one side and knocked her off. That would have given the mom enough time to at least get her child and to get out of there. It wouldn't have taken 3 or 4 people. And I asked myself the question this morning, if I had been happening along through there, if the lovely bride was with me, what would she want me to do? And there's no question that she would have patted me on the shoulder and she would be like, go get him. Because she is very, very vigilant about the safety of women and the and just the days that we live in. And especially in all the states now that don't let you carry guns and stuff. I mean, it's gotten to be ridiculous. So there's really, if a slight woman, a woman who is not large of frame, not large of body, is under attack and she's not allowed to carry a gun, she can be subdued by any man, any woman larger than her, and in this case, have the holy pulp beat out of her, all while her toddler watches. 888-589-8840. It made me angrier than almost Obama letting the Taliban go. And I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm internalizing it too much and I just see if that was my bride with my boys, what my reaction would have been. But I am disappointed. I'm saddened. I'm burdened by the fact that these boys and men stood around and did nothing, didn't raise a single finger to come to her aid. Let's go to Linda in North Carolina. Hi, Linda. Welcome. You're on with Kevin McCullough. So glad you're with us.
Well, hi, Kevin. Yeah, I didn't see the video myself, and I'm glad I heard about it on the radio because I don't want to see the video. I mean, I'm already angry, but I from what I've heard, and I listened closely, what infuriates me the most is what you've been talking about is the bystanders. They could have prevented this. They could have stopped it. They could have aborted the situation. And as far as I'm concerned, there's really no excuse. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons as to why they stood around. Maybe they don't have positive male role models that taught them about what courage is, what bravery is, what honor and things of that nature are. Because when you know those things, when you recognize them and see them, you will stand up. You will stand up. No matter what is going on around you, you will stand up. And, it's just inexcusable. And, yes, they should all be charged as accessory to the fact. Absolutely, without a doubt, without hesitation.
All right, Linda. Interesting perspective. Thank you. And I'm not even sure that there is a charge that you can make for people that don't step forward and do good when there's something bad going on. But at the very least, these boys need a serious talking to about what being a real man is. In my perspective, I think a harsh reprimand. Hey, guys, look, when you see someone who's being just pummeled this way, our society will not be made better if you stand by and do nothing. In fact, that's all it takes for evil to prosper, is for good men to stand by and watch it happen. 888-589-8840. Let's go to Eric in Arkansas. Hi, Eric. Welcome. Glad you're on with Kevin McCullough.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Man, everybody said kind of what I was going to say, but, you know, how you deal with this justly and fairly, man, I'm from South Arkansas, so I'm kind of backwards, and I'm a little bit of a simple man, you know, but put it through the court system, or anybody. Put any animal through the court system, you know, give them a fair trial, you know. But, by God, go back to a short rope and a long drop, you know, instead of this mammy-pamsy junk that we always have to deal with. And as far as these boys just standing around, that's par for the course nowadays, you know. Nobody knows how to be a man anymore, you know. And it's
All right.
a bad state of affairs in this country.
So you think capital punishment is the response to this here? Well,
let me put it to you this way, so I hope I don't offend nobody, but the way my daddy and my granddaddy raised me is, son, when you got a rabid dog, you shoot it, you know. You don't try to be nice to it. You just get it out of its misery.
Okay. Well, the interesting thing about this is, and I'm not advocating that position, and I wouldn't. I don't think that she deserves the death penalty. I think she deserves a harsh criminal penalty for what she did, but she didn't take someone's life. At some point, she does stop. I hope that she gets the help that she needs. I don't want to be, unfair to her either, and I don't think that I don't think it's a capital crime worthy of the death penalty. But I do think she needs to go away for a long time. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Let's go to Hector in South Carolina. Hector, welcome. You're on with Kevin McCullough. Glad you're here.
Good day to you, Kevin. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing.
Yes, I told call screen a quick comment about Ann Coulter and Rick Days real quick. I think that's a backhanded way of saying we got a lot more important things going on than soccer. And they won't say it that way, especially Ann Coulter, but I think that's what's going on with that. Here's three answers for you. It seems like no one else is really giving you an answer to what's going on with this assault. This was an aggravated assault. Here's the answers. This may be too deep, but I'm going to go in it anyway. With a lot of these black people, and I use the term black people, I'm not politically correct and won't be and say African American, but anyway, they're still sore over what happened to Trayvon Martin, okay? I want you to know that. And I want you to know something else. If it had been a big white woman on a black woman and those black guys standing around, they've been over there in a heartbeat. I almost bet my life on that. Racism is alive and well, big time in our country. I want you to know something. Their grandparents, their parents before them, their grandparents, this stuff runs real deep. They're all, just about all of them, are reminded about slavery and so forth, and they're all reminded about it, the generation after generation. They keep this thing like an open wound, and those guys standing around watching it happen, they weren't about to lift a finger. It wasn't because they were scared. It was because there was a black on a white, and they like to see that, and that's all it is to it. And that woman attacking that woman like she did, no telling what the reason was, but she needs to be tried for aggravated assault and given the appropriate amount of time. There's a lot of chickens in the law enforcement because of a person's skin color. There's a lot of chickens that won't do what they're supposed to do.
All right, Hector, I get the idea, and I just want to say I think we can draw observations about this perspective without making grand generalizations about people, because I think that's equally as wrong as assuming that there's anything particularly racial involved in this equation. I do not agree with what Hector is saying from the standpoint that I think all blacks are sore about Trayvon Martin. I don't believe that. I believe that in certain communities, in certain places, there may be bits or pieces of attitudes that are still sour about it, upset about it, maybe justified, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not inside their heart. I'm not inside their brain. If we can't have an honest conversation about it, however, if we can't make a simple observation about why is this? Look at this picture. Here is what is happening. This woman is beating the tar out of this other woman. Here's all of these people that could have moved in and helped, and not a finger was lifted. Why was that? What was the dynamic there? I think it reveals to us, without having to call people names and without having to make generalizations about people, and I resent that. I don't want to make that. I don't want to have those things be caused. But I do think that if we honestly assess what's happening, and at least be forced to look at it for a minute, then I think that all of us can learn something from that and come away maybe a different person. See, I wonder if those boys that were in that video, I wonder how many of them do have fathers that are at home. I don't know the numbers, but I wonder if many of them are without male leadership that would teach them, it doesn't matter the person's race. You see an innocent person being bludgeoned, you stop it. You put a stop to it. You put an end to it. I wonder if the effect of having a good man in the house would have made that difference. We can hope so, and I do, because for some reason this, and maybe it was my own projection of my own family into the role of where the toddler and the stroller baby and the mother that was knocked down. Maybe I was just fearfully saying, "Hey, that could be my family." And how angry would I be if it was? But when we see this kind of injustice and this lack, this apathy of not wanting to respond to it, friends, there's a deep level of wrong in this for us to passively deal with, to just let it go by. And that's what I don't want to have happen the next time. Thanks for engaging on the very difficult subject today. So glad that you've been with us. Kevin McCullough, glad to be with you. Germany did beat us, but it looks like the USA is going to go on to the next round anyway because they were in the position to do so. So we'll see you next time on AFA Today on AFR Talk. Until then, have a great day. Brian Fisher's next.